Hello, and welcome to another episode of Through the Monocle. Today we will be watching and discussing The Great Mouse Detective. As always, I'm your host, Idiot McGee, and joining me today, it is Idiot Magoo. How are you doing, Grant Skillen?
I'm here. How are you?
Doing well. Personally, I was better before,
You just have to see my face.
yeah,
I get it.
exactly, exactly.
We had to see the
I was just
well-trimmed beard.
Whoa, well trimmed is a strong word there, my friend.
It's a great word. What do you
Um,
mean?
Speaking of strong words, The Great Mouse Detective. Audiences and critics alike have words. They say it's good, better
I'll
than
be
Mice Group.
honest. I've never heard of this movie.
Really, it used to be like all they ran on Disney Channel. I swear, I've seen it like 15 times and I remember nothing about it.
It's possible I've seen this movie, but based off the name, I'm like, I've never heard of this movie. I've never met this man in my life. So
See,
it'll be interesting.
Disney Channel history. They used to only be allowed to show certain movies. Like
Mm.
none of the vault was open, except for all of like the lower tier Disney films. So like Alice in Wonderland and Dumbo,
Mm.
and this. Um,
Speaking of Dumbo, how are you, Grant?
I am fantastic, but I think I said that already.
But I know
Um,
I'm calling you Dumbo.
I get it. I get it. Well, I guess without further ado, if you've got it pulled up, I guess we should go ahead and hit start so we can say we've seen it.
I
This
might
is a
have it
shorter
pulled
one.
up.
Some of us have lives. I don't know who they are, but some of us I'm sure
Yeah.
do. You ready?
Unfortunately.
All right, we go on go as always. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And it didn't start. This is 3 weeks in a row. It didn't start.
It just sounds like a
Dadgummit.
skill issue because I've never had
Apparently,
an
I'm
issue.
missing the play button. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Or did you that time did you go too fast
started.
and like psych yourself out and just miss the
I
button?
think I clicked the wrong play button, but I can't be certain.
You clicked the wrong play button.
So there's one in the middle of the screen. Also, I should probably move this to where it's coming out of my earbuds. Yeah, perfect. There's one in the middle of the screen, and then there's one in the bottom left corner.
Mm.
And I clicked the one in the middle, and I think it just didn't work.
Sounds like a skill issue.
I've always enjoyed the look here on this movie. Like it's very classic looking. Now this is the movie that directly followed The Black Cauldron.
Okay. I can hear your breathing directly into the mic.
Better.
I'm not sure.
I'm still breathing, so if you
I
can't
cannot
hear
hear. I can't hear it now. So
it.
so we'll go with yes.
Okay, so who's in this movie is what I need to be figuring out.
So far I see a couple mice.
One of them's Mortimer, one of them's Mickey. Duh.
Vincent Prince, Barry Ingham, almost your relative. If only he had a
Yeah,
different
I would
different last name.
bet money Alan Young's in this. Is Alan Young in this, Grant?
I don't know. Is he?
I haven't pulled it up yet.
He is.
Okay.
He is Flaversham.
Okay, Alan Young, for those of you who don't know, voiced Scrooge McDuck in DuckTales and was also Wilbur on Mr. Ed. Good Lord, that was frightening. So Disney at this point in time just said, we're going to scare children.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Like
they
this.
need it. Or like this.
I was about to do the same stupid thing to you.
I'm just happy when I clicked it to put you up and not me because that would have been funny. Although that would have been funny if it had put me up.
It would have been.
Because I didn't even click. I think I can click
Or
up
this.
there.
It scares everyone. Yeah, I could tell it was Alan Young when I heard Flaversham start speaking.
Flaversham.
He sounds like freaking Scrooge McDuck. Got an ant on my elbow, and that's a sentence I never thought I'd say.
You've never had an ant on your elbow?
I've never thought I'd have to say it. All right, so we've got opening credits, which I believe is a big deal. I don't know why it would be. Oh, Basil Rathbone is in this as Sherlock Holmes, but I believe they just used his archival footage.
Mm.
I will say on today's episode of What's Eating Ingram, Costco Pizza. Let's go.
W.
What's Eating Ingram, Costco Pizza.
We trimmed up my beard a little bit for the audience, for the no one that's here. What do you think?
What are you talking about? There are 15 people watching right now.
No, there's not.
There's not. We need to stop doing these live. We got more views posting.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. He was in Afghanistan. What was he doing in Afghanistan?
Not hearing
Getting
the
some-
tree.
Getting some oil.
Getting some all. Forever. Fight forever. Got him. And now we're taking down. Let's go.
So this film incorporates the first major use of computer animation in a feature film, which is cool. This is hilarious. All right. It was ultimately Vice President of Walt Disney Feature Animation, Peter Schneider, who made the decision to change the title of the film from Basil of Baker Street to its current title. On February 13th, 1986. My thing just paused. My thing just ran
Mine
out
did too.
at 4:56.
Mine did at 4:57.
All right. I am going to reload the web page, and by that I mean switch to a different server. Go to 4:56. Sorry for those of you who aren't watching along.
So mine just did it again. There.
On a different server?
No, on the same one. But like if I
Okay.
skipped forward, it was fine.
Just switch servers, Grant. Go to MyCloud. I mean Disney Plus. You ready? Do it at
Hold on.
4:56.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up.
This is a special kind of scuff, y'all.
Yeah. Okay.
Ready?
Yep. I just let it play through it for a second just to make sure it would work.
Go. All right. It was ultimately Peter Schneider's decision to change the title of the film from Basil of Baker Street to The Great Mouse Detective. On February 13th of 1986, an inter-office memo was sent out to Disney employees in Schneider's name announcing the renaming of the studio's most beloved classics. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs would be called Seven Little Men Help a Girl. Fantasia received the title Color and Music. The Jungle Book was getting its title changed to A Boy, a Bear, and a Big Black Cat.
The
And
boy
so on
who
in that
lived,
fashion.
come to die.
Schneider was furious over the memo and attempted to find the author, animator Ed Gombert, so he could fire them. All the other employees found it a harmless joke and kept quiet. A copy of the memo eventually landed in the pages of the LA Times, and all the new names were incorporated into the What's in a Name category on Jeopardy! Schneider eventually came to regard the memo as it was intended, and in 2009 reminded Don Hahn about the clip during production of Hahn's documentary, Waking Sleeping Beauty.
I can imagine at first he'd be like, what, mate? You what? You bloody what?
Oh, you're welcome to come in and wait.
In a bottle of water. Sorry, I'm just being offensive to the British.
You can't be offensive to the British. They've already colonized everyone possible.
Yeah, we rebelled for a reason. Got a little ink on your boot. Do, 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 do.
Vincent Price realized a lifelong dream in this film. He had always wanted to voice a Disney character. Uh-oh. Can you still
What?
see me?
Yeah.
Okay. My computer's RAM isn't liking me right now. There
How
we go.
many Google Chrome tabs do you have open?
4. Two of
That'll
them are
do it.
streaming. Two
That'll
of them
do
are
it.
streaming. That's the problem.
What's the other one streaming?
My Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
A Sojourn, to be exact.
My good pillows. You might have read this, but Vincent Price, when he was recording his lines, was doing like exaggerated gestures that could be considered Shakespearean.
But I don't think we've seen his character yet.
Yeah.
Right again? Yeah. You'll see it shortly.
Perfectly balanced as all things.
I'm remembering this movie now.
I have no recollection of this movie. Aww.
This is one of the few Disney movies to take place entirely at night. There are no scenes that take place during the day at any point in the movie.
So it's depressed, just like what?
What? Just like me?
What? They said that.
Oh.
Skill issue. What?
What? Wow.
You got COVID. Coronavirus.
Well, we're already pulled from Facebook.
We're not on Facebook.
We're on Instagram, which is Facebook.
Hi, Mark Zuckerberg. How are you? I know you're watching right now.
Wow. That's Radigan. Not that the Napoleon was necessarily not the Napoleon of crime, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
At least he wasn't Henry Ford. Ratigan. I keep coming back to the animation is really stupid good on these movies.
Especially for this was what, 80s, late 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was after like most of the industry had cheapened out.
Yeah.
Because you got to think early, like the 30s, the animation is gorgeous because they really gave a darn.
Yeah.
Same with the 40s. But about the 70s, you started producing crap like Super Friends and whatnot overseas, and it was all kind of crappy.
Buntway. I failed.
I don't care. I'm Scrooge McDuck.
I said, whoever threw that paper. Your mom
So
is
now you
Scrooge
you
McDuck.
can do the thing about the about Vincent Price because this is Radigan.
Yeah, Shakespearean gestures.
The animators exaggerate or sketch them and work them into the poses.
Yeah.
Disney villains are so good at just being pure evil.
I mean,
Oh.
it's the bat. Catch the bat.
When designing Fidget, the Disney animators were focused on creating a scary yet comical and lovable character. They were looking for a raspy voice and chose Candy Candido, who had starred in voiceover roles in many previous Disney films, as well as Ralph Bakshi films. His own looks were used in matching.
I was just gonna sound like Gellert Grindelwald.
I don't know. Jubilee.
Is they gonna kill the queen?
The Mouse Queen.
I think he's also just actively smoking in a kid's cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Of
No,
the
see,
Sith.
the song that's coming up here, I believe, was almost cut. And I'll tell you why in a second. I say this is the song. This might be a different song. Mm-hmm. You're the best of the worst around.
How are they actually holding him up?
Good question. And I fought through it.
Not the spoons.
No. I like this movie.
This is a much better movie than last week.
You didn't like? You think it's better than the Black Cauldron already?
Oh yeah, by far.
It is. The Black Cauldron was good though.
This is by far better.
This is much more Disney.
It has a tone. It has a consistent tone.
It is Disney. That was great. It was Rat.
Messiah.
Bartholomew.
I can hear you breathing.
I can hear you teething, but here we are. Good Lord. That is one obese cat. Grant.
About to go splat again.
Yikes. Major league yikes.
I like this how it then puts into perspective him versus the cat.
Who versus the cat?
Splat again.
Hmm. Two.
Gonna swing from the champagne. Oh, there's a chandelier. Breathing.
This was my introduction to Sherlock Holmes.
It's the vid. The COVID. I'm back in this chair currently, so if you can hear it squeaking, that's why. I don't know if you can hear it or not.
We can't.
Okay, good. It's very uncomfortable. When you're in a comfortable chair, then switch to this thing, which is like a piece of wood basically now. Yeah.
My chair. Actual wood. I don't want to hear it.
This is more uncomfortable, I bet, than your chair.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. This movie needs Flute or Flame.
Needs a what?
Fluterflam, the bard from last week. You remember the old man that was traveling along with him?
Yeah.
They cut out half his lines, apparently. He was the biggest casualty of the recuts. They just cut him out of the movie for no reason. I don't think you understand. Oh.
Can hear you breathing again. You keep moving the mic away and then moving into the mic and doing the exact same thing.
I hate you. What do you mean?
What?
Deducibly risky. Oh, the little mouse is so cute. It's the same dog from The Fox and the Hound. Greg, what are you doing, man?
The world will never know. I don't understand how you can hear my MacBook typing because it's not loud at all.
I can't. I can just see you doing this.
Oh. Because I'm looking at, I've got Discord on my MacBook and we're having an argument in the Discord currently.
Well, I'm having an argument with you right here.
Okay.
A villain. A scoundrel. Oh. All right. So I was talking about fidget earlier. Let's see. All right. So when designing fidget, they wanted a scary yet comical character. They were looking for actors with a raspy voice. Cast Candido. His looks were used in matching Fidget's looks. That's Fidget the bat. Candido's deep, throaty voice was sped up to avoid Fidget's voice from becoming too low. But you can hear it a little later when he says, "Get off, you eight-legged bum."
Jump. He's very much trying not to get attached to this little mouse that he's totally going to get attached to.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a boy mouse or a girl mouse?
She's a little girl.
Oh, because he's a good boy. I couldn't tell if we think good boy to the dog or to her.
Yes.
What?
I said yes. Statistically more probable.
That you're dumb.
That is a statistical fact. Hmm. Hmm.
That's you.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. You deserve that. Oh.
What is that mysterious ticking noise?
Oh. As we climb this ladder. I like how dark this movie is, I will say.
You said earlier that every scene takes place during the night.
Yeah.
So that would make sense.
No, but like it's also kind of frightening.
Or
My father will hear about this.
never mind, he won't because he got kidnapped. Lol.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. I hate you.
I try.
I hate you with a passion. Bro.
Obviously.
I am still apparently live. I'm gonna see. I can't tell if I'm still live or not. Yeah, it hasn't cut out. I don't know why, but it hasn't. So cool. Oh, like this is actually sort of frightening. You know
You're
what
a
else is sort of
child.
frightening? That was okay. Tell me you expected that.
Oh, I'm so scared.
No. Okay, frightening for a Disney movie.
That's
So
a
I think
General Grievous and his like wheel thing that he would ride around in.
yeah.
Around the world. That's a cool effect. This is more scary than the movie last week, even though it's not scary.
The one last week kind of was a little startling at times. See?
Bye bye. Toby.
You fiend.
The bat running through that guy's immune system be like,
That's only funny.
that's only funny.
It's only funny.
What else could it be?
I don't know. Sad.
That's if you believe that it was from a bat to begin with, but that's for another time. And now we're
All
canceled.
there. Dawson.
Dawson. I'm Dawson. How's the Costco pizza?
It's as cold as ice.
Cold as your heart. What? As long as Juan. As long as Juan can think, who's Juan?
I know, but once you've talked about Juan, you've talked about Jamal.
So funny, I forgot to laugh.
Oh. I will say, Disney doesn't do movies like this anymore. It's all princess movies from Disney.
What?
And they don't do any sort of 2D animation anymore.
Tootie.
Put it in reverse, Tootie.
Oh, Lord.
My foot. He does sound just like Scrooge McDuck, though.
Now you both die.
Yikes.
My father will hear
Why
about
the-
this.
This is a short movie, too.
Oh, we're halfway there. Living on a pear. Snacking on a pear.
That sounds like it should be a Manscaped ad. The uniforms. He's gone. You see, it's like I like the bet.
What?
The Shakespearean gestures, if you will.
Mamma mia. This sounds like a Shakespearean villain monologue.
It does.
Lawson texted me 7 minutes ago, how's the Great Mouse Detective?
Because it's live on my Instagram.
Yeah.
People watch. How is the Great Mouse Detective, Grant? It is spattered twice. Made in China.
I said tune in 35 minutes for the review to find out.
Uh-oh. Because of course. Of course. Of course. Basil. Hmm. Hmm.
Cool story, bro. Didn't ask. I intend to prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt.
My autistic.
Co-counsel, fatty, sit down.
Spot.
To the bottle of water.
To a bottle of water. The River Tim.
I'm having to fight sleep right now, not because of the movie, but
I'm having to fight sleep right now because of your. Because of your.
keep going.
I didn't finish it.
Keep going.
No.
Come on. You can do it.
Can you juggle, Grant?
No.
I can juggle.
Cool story, didn't ask.
See, I can juggle. I can actually juggle though. That's the difference. If I had three similarly sized objects, man. Grant, I want to make you watch Ted.
Buddy?
No, the teddy bear with
I
Mark
know.
Wahlberg.
I know what you mean.
There's a TV show now. It's hilarious.
You were telling me about it the other day.
I was.
Yeah.
When was the last time we talked?
About 2.5 hours ago.
I hate you.
No, you told me about it the other day when I was going to get pizza.
That's right. That's right. This pizza, which he so generously shipped me across the country.
Yeah. Which was also from an entirely different place.
Mm-hmm. So that was the original voice for Fidget. I've always wanted to say something to somebody and go, it's a very Disney-esque thing to do.
Off with her head.
So this was almost cut out because it's let me find the thing.
Hold on. I'll listen to it and see if I can figure out why. Yeah, I can see why this was almost cut.
Yeah, it was considered too risque for a Disney animated family film. You know, after the Black Cauldron and their giant bosoms.
Yeah, but I think I can see why.
Yeah. Well, the animators avoided a PG rating and got the scene kept in by appealing to censors on the grounds that the segment was a cabaret song and harmless in lyrics, and because the character animated singing it was a mouse, not a human, and thus not questionable.
Oh, this guy's dead.
Mm-hmm. This is me and you trying to blend in somewhere.
You're an idiot. So that would be
It's in
you.
there. Bravo! Bravo! Uh-oh.
Oops.
I need to find the guy that Fidget was based on.
Dawson?
Dawson. Dawson.
A peg-legged rodent.
Lawson, if you're still here, Costco Pizza does slap.
Did you say that?
He said it on the chat. Yeah. Basil.
What's your favorite pizza topping? Basil.
Sounds kind of nasty, to be honest.
Basil on pizza is good, but pretty good.
No. Pineapple.
You, my friend, are a masochist.
I believe you mean a mass murderer. Oh, wait, they don't know about that yet. Shoot. You can tell because it's got a big R. It's even filthier than I imagined.
Bottle.
The bottle of the small child. I always love this scene. Bravo. A marvelous performance.
Did you see who the Orioles sold to?
Cal Ripken Jr. and a bunch of other people.
Grant Hill, the NBA player, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg, a former Baltimore mayor, and some other people.
That's presidential candidate Michael Bloomberg, right?
Yeah.
I just love you, this guy. And almost.
You can't kick the peg leg around like that. That's a hazard.
Someone ends up impaled, or worse, humiliated.
Or worse, expelled. You know that clip,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're gonna get us killed, or worse, expelled.
Choose. Choose.
Marvelous, isn't it?
How many ways to die?
The boy who lived to come to die. Have you seen the Johnny Depp Voldemort impression?
No.
The impression of if Johnny Depp, not Johnny Depp,
No.
if Jack Sparrow was Voldemort.
No. Nor do I ever want to.
It's the best thing in history. Well,
Grant, you won't play Power World because you don't like the way it looks. I'm not going to watch.
because I don't like that style of game.
I don't like that style of anything. Yes. I long for that level of self-confidence. You're horrid. Yeah, buddy. I do like how the villain is more polite about their last name than the hero. See what you can do with the proper motivation? You can put a little girl in a bottle. I feel like that's another version of don't judge a book by its cover. Don't put the child in the bottle.
Mm. Mm.
I remember this scene. I love this movie. It's coming back to me now. Sorry, Chubby. And this crime. I like this one. Somebody just texted me a YouTube link.
I don't know who that could possibly be.
Some idiot.
Yeah.
Ooh, it hurts. Engagement at Buckingham Palace. Figured it out yet, don't.
Heir to the Empire. Have you seen Ahsoka?
No.
That's pretty good.
Here it is. I hate that the guy that played Balin died. Ray Stevenson.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's a pretty good character. He's another one of the like former Jedi turned like bad guy, but he's not a bad character himself.
Yeah. I wish they had done a TV series based on this movie. Like, it would be really great. This film's success is credited with keeping Walt Disney Animation going against after the previous film, The Black Cauldron, failed. It renewed upper management's confidence in the department, thus setting the stage for the Disney Renaissance.
As the 60-year reign comes to an end. How dare you?
How dare you?
Wasn't for you meddling kids.
So soon, and isn't this best? I like this movie. This was me my first year of college.
Imagine we did video when you were in the recording studio at Alabama.
It'd have been cool. We should have. I will say, I've noticed lately, as we're doing this, my face shape has changed. I don't know why, but like my chin protrudes more now.
Because you haven't been freaking eating.
Maybe. Like I have a stinking jawline.
Imagine. No.
I used to have a jaw arch.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this arch.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this jaw. Time for mess chow. I love that the cat is like just sitting there like, I need more food. It's like you. This is such a well done movie. I would say it paces above its 70s.
Toby Maguire.
Whoa! It's Spider Moon!
Spider Dog.
Spider Cat. Whoa. Wish my dog's ear could be a staircase. Consort. I love how the guy's just ready to open the curtain. This is 2 movies in a row that has like a weird little groveling henchman.
Yeah, and every podcast episode we've ever had has you, so it's all good. I don't think you heard me.
I didn't. Say it again.
Okay, now we're good.
You're a narcissist? You're a sociopath? You're probably a psychopath. You're paranoid, sexist, and you make fun of the elderly. Those are just quirks!
That works for so much. I like this movie. Oh, let's see.
That's my favorite Sideman, Toby.
In Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes story, The Sign of Fall, Holmes borrowed a dog named Toby. Production on this movie only took a year.
Really?
Thanks to the use of computers, it only took a year.
Like how they're just like, nah, we're good.
Yep. When Basil is looking for a map of his apartment, he unrolls one and looks at it very briefly. It looks like a cliched treasure map, but one of the locations reads downtown Burbank. That's great. Norway banned the film for children under 12. The studio considered releasing it straight to video because videotapes weren't regulated there at the time. Denmark censors requested 30 seconds of cuts. Finland and Sweden released it without restrictions.
Well, I wonder what they want to cut.
Probably that one scene where that one mouse does that one dance.
But that one mouse is not dancing like a mouse. One might perhaps say. Team Rocket's blasting off again.
The music is so freaking good. I also love Radigan pedaling on that bike. All right, so this next sequence is the first CGI sequence in a feature-length animated film.
Just from Disney or period?
Period. So keep in mind, the Black Cauldron used CGI. The Black Cauldron used CGI because they liked how the CGI looked in this movie. It's the gears, which I didn't realize was CGI until just now. And that is 1986 CGI, which is incredible. Because you know what computers look like in 1986?
You.
They look like your mom. No, they were huge.
All right, he's gone finally. How are you? How, if anyone's here, how are you?
They were huge, but not like that huge. They were just now becoming viable commercially, and you still could barely own them as a consumer.
Yeah, I can tell this is CGI there. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, but you can tell it's CGI 40 years after the fact. Well, get a step stool. What are you doing?
Free falling.
Basel. Now, if his name was Time of Baker Street, he'd be fine. That was a clock joke, Grant. A clock spice joke. That was a better joke than you gave me credit for.
I'll be honest, I didn't hear it. I was zoned the heck out.
I said, now, if his name was Time of Baker Street, he'd have been fine right there. Instead of Basil. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This
It's
is
a
why I don't-
multi-level.
This is why I don't like you.
This is why I don't like you. What's that ticking noise?
That mysterious ticking noise.
I was quoting Henry Cho. Hello, Mr. Cho. How are you?
What is that mysterious ticking noise?
All right, here's your little fun fact. Michael Eisner, CEO of the Disney Company at the time, the last great CEO of the Disney Company, wanted Michael Jackson to voice a character in this film who would enter the saloon, confront Basil, and sing a song at the tavern.
Hee
And while he was at it, probably diddle some children. Because Michael Jackson was terrible.
I don't think that's how physics works.
Definitely not.
Like, I'm about 100% sure he should be dead.
After its initial release, this movie was withheld from being premiered on home media before its reissue due to the barroom scene and the suggestive theme involving Miss Kitty Mouse's show tune. This home
Suggestive
media
what?
ban passed after the reissue. It should be noted that this is the reason why the film got overlooked and never spawned a franchise despite its critical and financial success. It's a good movie.
with a bunny dancing in a unique way.
It was a cat, or
Close
a
enough.
mouse, rather. But yeah.
Goodbye.
Madonna was considered for the role of Miss Kitty Mouse. Are you wearing enough eyeliner for a mouse of approximately 3 inches?
The mysterious disappearance of that mysterious ticking noise.
Now I want to create my own clip.
Nothing's stopping you.
Yeah, I'm the only person that would enjoy it. Basil. That's such a good movie. This was the final Disney film, or one of the final Disney films to feature the end. Because at this point, pretty much all of Hollywood had already said, we're not going to do the end anymore. And Disney was the last holdout. And by the 90s, they had stopped. All right, we ready to pause this? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the review. As always, I'm your host, Grant Ingram, and today we will be reviewing The Great Mouse Detective. I really don't know what I'm doing because that's not my normal intro, but I am indeed your host, Idiot McGee, and joining me today, it's still Idiot Magoo. What's up, Skellen?
You're special. How are you?
I am special, apparently. We just watched one of my favorite Disney movies from
Hi,
childhood.
special.
Great
I'm
Mouse
Grant.
Detective. He says from the back of the short bus. Anyway, we just watched one of my favorite Disney movies of childhood. Grant, what did you think of The Great Mouse
Of
Detective?
childhood. It's a good movie. So I had admittedly not seen it, or if I have, it's been so long, I don't even have a ounce of remembrance of this movie. But it's a good movie. I think the Rotten Tomato score is actually a little low, in my opinion.
It is definitely a little low. We have it here. It is a 77-79 split. I think it's at least an 85.
Yeah, if not a 90. I mean,
It's a good movie. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's well acted. It's well animated. Like especially Ratigan. I really like the way they do Ratigan the whole time. Like he's just big and demonstrative.
mhm,
Anyway, I cut you off, so you keep going.
yeah. I don't know. My brain's not functioning coherently, so I don't even know what I was thinking or saying when you cut me off. But yeah, no, it's a very good movie. I think it could be a 90.
Yeah, for sure. Could definitely be a 90. Should probably be a 90. I think it. So there's a scene in the middle where a mouse comes out and sings a song, and is a little risque about singing said song.
Yeah. Shall
And
we
apparent-
say enjoys singing the song?
Yeah, it's not to the point of being burlesque, but it's not to the point of being burlesque. Like
Yeah.
it's thinking about it.
Mhm.
It is debating about being burlesque, and the animators got away with it by complaining to the censors that it's just a mouse, which is very similar to how Howard the Duck got away with duck movies. It's just a duck. But yeah, it's a good movie. It's rated G because sure,
Because
at the
somehow
because at the time the PG rating actually meant something. Now everything's just rated PG.
No.
And so yeah. Grant, what was your favorite moment from the film?
What was my favorite moment? I did enjoy the CGI scene, the scene in the clock tower.
Really? Yeah, I think that one's really well done. It's 1986 CGI.
Yeah.
But had I not told you it was CGI, would you have known?
I would have suspected it was something different than what they had been doing because it looked nicer and cleaner in my
It looked a
opinion.
little wetter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It looks good though for 1986. I would say the movie's not quite as pretty as The Black Cauldron. Like The Black Cauldron is really well
Yeah.
drawn, but
Yeah.
The Black Cauldron also had a much bigger budget, and nearly sunk the company. So, yeah, this
Yeah.
movie was a success. The Black Cauldron was a failure, but it tried to succeed in doing what no Disney movie had done before: destroying Disney. There's a really good Yesterworld video on The Black Cauldron if you watched our episode last week and want to check it out. Like, just Google Yesterworld, The Black Cauldron. It's like 40 minutes long. He goes through, he's got the original storyboards, and he goes through and cuts them through scene by scene to show what got cut out. Fascinating. But back to this movie. I love this movie.
Yep.
Fun fact, a lot of the animators who left The Black Cauldron because creative differences got sent to work on this.
I can see that. I can certainly see that because there's definitely some darker aspects to it. Particularly, I want to say it's around the middle of the movie is when you got a good amount of it.
Mhm.
But for the most part, it's what you would expect from a Disney movie.
Yeah, I think so. It's darker, but it's not like, well, it's not like this. I mean, sorry, this. It's not this dark. It doesn't get to that point. It's darker. It has some jump scares, but like for the most part, the characters are fairly like even the villains are fairly comical and comic booky kind of.
Yeah.
Like Ratigan is very overdrawn. He's very Shakespearean.
Yeah, and that's something I noted from the IMDb was when he was Vincent Price is the guy who voiced Ratigan. But when he was doing it, he was making these types of gestures, and so the animators were like, maybe we can fit that in. It also goes with when they chose Vincent Price, originally Ratigan was supposed to be kind of thin and weak and frail looking, but when they got Vincent Price, they decided to make him more what he
Bigger.
was, a bigger, and then you add in the Shakespeare, and it's I think it's better. I think it worked out well.
Yeah, I love like these big grandiose things. Like when they're calling him a rat there at the end at the Jubilee, and Basil comes in and goes, "A sewer rat," and Ratigan just goes, and kind of like it's just like this big gesture. I love it. It's fantastic. He is one of my favorite Disney villains just because of the way Vincent Price, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Played him. Like it's fantastic. And the songs, like the song in the beginning of the song where they're singing about how evil he is, and like he's eviler than even he, is pretty great. I love it a lot.
Yeah, the music's good. It's a Disney movie. It's got good music.
Yeah, and it's not the Black Cauldron. This is John Musker and Roger Clement's only directorial effort from the Walt Disney Animation Studios to be in the Dark Age. The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, and Hercules were all in the Renaissance. Treasure Planet was in the post-Renaissance, and The Princess and the Frog and Moana were both in the Revival era. Princess and the Frog was one I always forget about. It's got a good 2D animation. It's the last 2D animated Disney movie, if I'm not mistaken. At least like, main theatrical release. Just because CG's cheaper.
Yeah.
And if it's cheaper, you can hire Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Mr. Pex himself, to be Maui. I mean, like, compare modern Disney movies to this Disney movie in terms of cast. I know Alan Young, but I'm like the only person who knows Alan Young.
Yeah.
Compare that to Zachary Levi, or heck, the Frozen cast, right? Like Idina Menzel, Christoph was that Jonathan Groff? Jonathan Groff played somebody.
So. That sounds right.
And then Olaf was, oh gosh, I could see the man's face and I cannot think of his name.
Josh.
Dad.
Yeah,
that's the name. Yeah.
Jonathan Groff. Wait, Christoph was. I didn't realize Chris.
Yep.
Yeah, I just made that connection.
Yep. You say the price of my moose is not a price that you
realize that.
Yeah, no. True story. Now I will say, modern Disney has like good cast and everything. I think it's great. I really do like old Disney when they put the majority of their money into animation and whatnot. I think is a lot better.
Yeah.
I mean, when you don't have to pay Zachary Levi and everybody else's mother for a movie, it's kind of nice. But I think this one is fantastic. I honestly love it to death. I would definitely sit my kids down in front of it. Both of them.
Skip about 30 seconds, but yeah.
I don't know that you even skipped the 30 seconds. They didn't skip it when it aired on TV. It's a G-rated movie.
Yeah. Yes, but...
Okay, Grant, I'll be honest with you. I grew up on Droopy. Have you ever seen Droopy?
No.
All right. Droopy is a Tex Avery cartoon, and we might sit down and watch some Droopy. Let me see here if I can find this character. These are old cartoons, like 30s, 40s, 50s. Okay. And every episode, it seems like, it wasn't actually every episode, but like it certainly could have been. This character, me save image, save it. It saved correctly. I got to upload this. Give me a second. This is actually sort of important. All right. every episode there was a version of this character. This is Red. She would always come out and she'd sing a show tune. That wolf would always get I call it the bazinga eyes, like, you know, the eyes popping out of the head. Like, that was just a running gag. It was always seductive, but like that was the joke. And so I personally don't have a problem with this in this movie. Like, I think it's a little overblown.
I know, but I mean, just hit the skip button. Like, oh no.
Like, why? Like, seriously though, like that is part of the culture to me. Like, that's something I think is kind of actually of value in this movie, is because it is kind of this old timey. I don't know. It has like old timey roots. It's vaudevillian. I like vaudevillian. Look, Grant, we can't all be pastors, man. Some of us have to like movies.
All I'm saying is hit skip in front of your kids.
All I'm saying is you should hit skip in front of your kids. Yeah.
Okay. What kids?
Both of them, Tommy and Timmy.
The ones in the basement.
Yep. Yeah, no, I think it's all good. I think that controversy is well overstated. Give me some trivia facts, Grant. What you got?
Trivia facts. I gotta get off Jonathan Groff's IMDb first. That might help.
Man is looking Jonathan Groff up and down. His IMDb page, I mean. Looking Jonathan Groff's IMDb up and down.
The Basil of Baker Street is named after Basil Rathbone, who played Sherlock Holmes in 14 films.
Including this one.
Yeah. By strange coincidence, Basil was also a name used by a disguised Holmes in Arthur Conan Doyle's The Adventure of Black Peter.
What was wrong with regular Peter?
I don't know. I was just reading the title. You mentioned during the longer portion, but this is one of the few Disney movies to take place entirely at night.
Which is just a random fact. Like, who's keeping up with that?
Whoever made this IMDb take, apparently. No idea who that is.
The last Disney Animation Studios film to release in the summer season up until The Lion King in 1984, released 8 years later, and the last to release in July up until Winnie the Pooh 2011, released 25 years later, which, by the way, Winnie the Pooh seems like a movie that should have been released earlier. I forgot that they've released, because Disney's done multiple Winnie the Pooh movies, and I guess they've done multiple theatrical Winnie the Pooh movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I feel like I watched, we would have been 8 then. I feel like it was way before that.
I definitely saw Winnie the Pooh in theaters, though. I remember that one coming out, but like, I didn't realize that Disney released multiple Winnie the Pooh movies in theaters. Like,
in your mind, that was the first one?
No, it wasn't the first one. So Disney has a history. This is fun. I watched a video on this yesterday. Disney would release movies, and that would be done by Walt Disney Animation Studios. And in the 90s, they realized, hey, wait a second. The Aladdin made a ton of money. We're going to do an Aladdin TV show. So Disney Television made an Aladdin TV show, right? And as part of that, they decided to release the first few episodes as a home video direct sequel to Aladdin called Aladdin The Return of Jafar. Which, side note, didn't have Robin Williams because Disney had ticked off Robin Williams. But yeah. Anyway, so they released that. And that spawns what ended up being called Disney Toons. And Disney Toons made a ton of other sequels to these Disney movies. And they're all this really cheap, crappy animation. Like Belle's Enchanted Christmas was one of them, the spinoff of Beauty and the Beast. But it really should have just been called Belle's Frozen Christmas, because she was constantly in the background just because they just stopped animating her like they used to in those cheaper shows. So I guess where I'm getting at is I didn't realize Disney made multiple theatrical releases of a movie. Like, that seems like it would be kind of rare, because all of their sequels were always direct to video. Like, there are, for example, did you know there are 3 Lion King movies? 4 if you count 1.5.
No.
There are.
No way. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Then there are like 3 Cinderellas, 3 Beauty and the Beast movies, like a lot of sequels. My favorite is the Stitch franchise. This is fun. So Lilo and Stitch releases, it's mainline Disney, right? Then they release the television show, which gets its kick with Stitch the movie, which is a sequel to the movie, right? The original one.
Mm.
And then you get Stitch 2, Stitch Has a Glitch, which is also a sequel to the first movie. And then you get Leroy and Stitch, which acts as the finale to the TV series, a sequel to Stitch, Lilo and Stitch, Stitch the movie, and Stitch Has a Glitch, while also being the series finale that had no tie-in to like the last two, and it wraps it all in a bow. So it's essentially two separate franchises with a timeline that looks something like the X-Men movies, just kind of weaving in and out because nobody has control over any of it, and they're all milking it for money.
Multiverse.
Fascinating. Fascinating.
So originally Olivia was going to be older and be the love interest of Dawson, but then they changed her to be a little girl so the audience would gain more sympathy for her.
Hence the reason, I guess, the love interest for Dawson comes in at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know why we care about Dawson's love interest, because there really should be more of these movies.
Unless they just wanted one, and because they changed it, they were like, well, let's still give them one. That might be what
And this
it was.
I can't make that joke. Never mind. Like this movie really should have spawned a franchise. Like I could have definitely seen a spin-off TV series.
Yeah, because you can do a lot more with the Basil.
Like, yeah, it could be a villain of the week TV show. And like, it would be pretty good, especially considering how many villain of the week TV shows there are at this time. Like, it would be entertaining as all get out. I would love it. I would have loved it.
Yeah. So in real life, Queen Victoria's actual Diamond Jubilee was on June 20th of 1987, but they celebrated it on June 22nd, which was almost the same time as the Mouse Queen's Diamond Jubilee in this movie. Like very close in time.
Interesting. Yeah, like this movie takes place up. Is it June 19th to June 21st, or is it June 20th to June 22nd? I can't remember.
Something along those lines.
But yeah, like the London of this time period is fantastically done. Like I think the animation in this is just
perfect timing. According to the newspaper, at the end, the film ends on Monday, June 21st, 1987. So it would have been, I guess, on about the 20th then.
And you mean 1897 for the record?
What did I say?
1987.
Yeah, I'm stupid. Peter Cook and Michael Palin were considered for the role of Basil. Imagine if they'd actually gotten Madonna as a...
That would have been hilarious.
Then it would no longer be PG.
And she sings like a virgin.
Not in that scene. Do with that what you will. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find one of two non-musical Disney animation films to have at least 3 songs. The other was 101 Dalmatians.
I would consider this a musical, though.
It's not a musical.
I would consider it a musical. It's more of a musical than most.
Mel Brooks. Okay.
Mel Brooks, what?
Mel Brooks was considered for the role of Hiram Ulysses Grant. What?
Sure, Grant.
I'm just yapping at this point.
Speaking of Hiram, it's Hiram Joel Osteen.
Joel Osteen?
Hiram Joel Osteen. Also known as our good friend and friend of the show, Haley Joel Osment. And by friend of the show, I mean my co-host. See? But And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed this, which you haven't, give us some money at patreon.com/theculturenerd. You can directly give us money. You can indirectly give us money. I don't care as long as it's out of our pockets. There are ways to give. You can figure all that out once you get there. You can give it to the whole network. You can give it to just one show. And I'm kidding. We really do appreciate our patrons. It does help keep the lights on. It helps Grant and I rent all these movies. We have to do it twice every week. It really does get expensive. I really appreciate it. As always, I've been your host, Grant Ingram.
And I have been your co-host, Grant Skillin. Thank you to each of our Patreon supporters. Thank you to Jose for the logo and Taylor for the intro.
And thank you, the viewer, for joining us. As always, if you've enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to my ASMR channel. If you want more of this, you can check out more of us by scanning that QR code on the right. And this is the third week in a row I've said I've got an episode in the can. I've got one in the can I got to finish. I might just do the audio and drop that soon. And then you can scan the QR code there on the left to check out more of The Cultured Nerd, which is probably what you want to see anyway, because they do a lot better job than we do. Anyway, next week, we won't be talking Disney because this is the final week of the month.
The final day of the month, even.
Yeah, it's like my dad's birthday or something. I probably should call him. Anyway, no, we're going to be talking something else. What that is undecided. But I think it's going to be like probably romance movies because next month is February and Valentine's Day. And, you know, just because we're two single men doesn't mean we can't sit and watch rom-coms. You guys will enjoy that. You'll enjoy watching Grant suffer. I'm going to pull this down so you can see Grant's face as I said that. No, I've got some ideas. We might do the films of Richard Linklater. We got to talk about it. We'll get there.
Who?
Anyway, the guy that directed Bernie and also three of my favorite movies. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this, do all these things. Thank you so much for joining. We will catch you next week. Goodbye.